Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and this evening we're going to have a look at the latest GFS, GM, ECMWF, GFS Ensembles, and then we'll also have a look at the UKMO office shorter range forecast and the live radars. We do have a few showers and thunderstorms going around this afternoon into the evening. It is definitely looking like we're going to be seeing some fine and dry weather next week. How we get there, there's going to be still some rain, some thunderstorms potentially, and a lot of cloud around. But it does look like next working week, i.e. Monday to Friday next week, is looking fairly pleasant pretty much for the whole of the UK. Not a heat wave by any means. Those chances have slowly diminished over the last few days, as the airflow isn't quite going to be coming from the south, but it's looking pretty fine and dry, and I think most people will still enjoy the weather. So do remember, if you enjoy these videos, make sure you do like and subscribe, and do remember to follow me on Twitter as well. The link is in the description. So if we do have a look at the latest GFS at the moment, you can see how we are sort of in between weather systems. We do have low pressure pushing in off the Atlantic. We've got a bit of a slack flow, so winds have been generally light, but we have seen a lot of low cloud stick around. Some areas have seen some brightness, especially further eastwards and in the south. But other areas have had a blanket of cloud for a lot of the day. As I said at the start, a few showers and thunderstorms have broken out today in a few areas. They're generally quite isolated, but where we do see them, there could be an hour or two of pretty heavy rain, but they are going to slowly diminish over the course of the evening. But we do have that low pressure moving in off the Atlantic, and it's going to bring more rain and potentially some thunderstorms over the course of the weekend, especially for parts of England and Wales, in terms of thunderstorms and heavier rain, pretty widespread, really, moving through along a cold front. Beyond that, as we head into the working week, as I said, it's going to be very warm and dry. We've got a big area of high pressure parked over the top of the UK, and if we go all the way to the UK sort of look, you can see big area of high pressure is going to mean things are going to be fairly pleasant. Now, there's always the chance of a few showers, especially further southwards where we're away from the centre of the high. We've got a little bit more of an easterly breeze, maybe some cloud and some showers, but generally things are looking fairly pleasant. If we go back out to the European outlook and we look at the 850 HP temperature, you can see the upper airs are not particularly warm. They are around 10, maybe getting a little bit higher in a few spaces, but it's nothing really to shout about this time of year. It's around, it's a touch above average, I'd say, and the temperatures can still get into the mid-20s, maybe 24, 25, or maybe 26, or maybe a tad higher here or there. But generally, most areas are going to be feeling very pleasant in the low 20s, and I think most people would agree that it's very, very fine weather. It's sort of the best thing we can probably get, apart from a heat wave for those sort of hot and dry weather fans. Beyond that, the high pressure does stick around generally into next weekend. A little bit more uncertain, especially further northwards and westwards, as low pressure is starting to try and push in, but it also could drag up some warmer air, so temperatures could even climb further southwards. We are getting into the real long-term range now, so it's pretty uncertain. But right towards the end of the run, we do have low pressure systems starting to push back in, especially introducing some rain in the north. But again, definitely does look like in the shorter run, shorter time frame, the reliable time frame, it is looking generally quite dry and fine for many areas. So we look at the GFS at max temperatures. If we do have a look at Friday, we can see temperatures 24, 25 degrees potentially in the afternoon in the south. That is ahead of the weather front, which is going to be over Ireland at this point. Through Saturday, it could be quite hot in the east, still 23, 24, maybe a tad higher. You can see in France, getting up to maybe 27 or 28 degrees potentially. But that cold front sweeping through. So by Sunday, temperatures are going to be largely a couple of degrees cooler, perhaps 17, 18 degrees. But you can see where the high pressure is starting to build over Ireland. Temperatures are on the up, 20, 21 degrees. Highest temperatures potentially on Sunday are going to be over the Republic of Ireland. Whereas most of the United Kingdom is going to be remaining a little bit cooler than average. As we head through Monday afternoon, you see temperatures on the up, 23, 24 degrees, once again, probably warmest in the Republic of Ireland, as that high pressure is moving in. As we head towards Tuesday, temperatures again, mid to low 20s potentially. All depends on the airflow, remember. In the south, temperatures may get restricted a little bit because we have that easterly airflow cooling the temperatures down by a couple of degrees. For Wednesday, still again seeing widely high teens, low 20s. And the thing is, there's not really any one spot going to be seeing the highest temperatures. You can see the cooler conditions are going to be around 14, 15 degrees, potentially on the coast or over higher ground. But generally, most areas are going to be in the high teens, if not low 20s, feeling very pleasant with a lot of sunshine around. By Thursday, you can see temperatures again mid to high 20s. Low to mid 20s, not mid to high 20s. So we'd be essentially talking about a heat wave. And then by Friday, again, temperatures getting up to around 23, 24 degrees. And then once again, just temperatures continually rumbling on at that sort of 23, 24 degree mark. And even beyond that, still staying fairly pleasant. So it's looking pretty good for some fun and dry weather. So if we do go through the GM run now, you can see at the moment, again, very similar to the GFS, that low pressure is going to be rattling in slowly, or rattling initially and then slowing down and sort of diminishing as it heads into Europe. And then we're going to build that big area of high pressure. It's going to be fairly pleasant under that area of high pressure. Again, potentially further eastwards and for the south, a bit more of a northeasterly or easterly flow, potentially bringing in some cloud and maybe a few showers, but generally things are looking very dry under high pressure. As we're to day 10, the high pressure reasserts its dominance after getting under some strain from the low pressure, and we just stay warm dry, and you can see upper airs more favoured to be warm in the west and the north, in fact, as we've got that undercut of cooler air coming in from the northeast. So again, as I said, highest temperatures over the next week or so could be potentially in the Republic of Ireland or in sheltered parts of Scotland, parts of Wales, potentially in the southwest. So if you are in those areas which are normally prone this time of year of getting some westerly winds cooling things down, it's going to be, what it's looking like, is going to be very, very pleasant for you. Now, of course, there could be some offshore breezes moving in here or there, but generally still looking really quite fine and dry. If we have a look at the ECMWF, you can see again that low pressure moving in off the Atlantic, and then the big high pressure builds in, turning things really quite pleasant and warm for many areas. Does look like that high pressure does lose its dominance by day 10, so by the bank holiday weekend we could be seeing low pressure starting to push off, but you can see it's still generally high pressure dominated. We've got that high pressure just to our north, so the ECMWF just developing a little bit of a cut-off low that we'll have to keep an eye on. It is day 10, so it's a bit uncertain, but at this stage it still looks relatively good for the bank holiday weekend. If we do have a look at the ensembles, you can see that well reflected. We've got a bit of a warm-up in the next couple of days before that low-pressure system moves in, as some warmer air wafts up from the south. And you can see there are a few showers and some thunderstorms around over the next few days. But as we head towards sort of Monday, Tuesday time, we get a good maybe 4, 5, 6 days of pretty dry weather. There are a few rainfall spikes for potentially some lighter showers, but generally things are looking very fine and dry, but for a good 4, 5, 6 days potentially. And you can see temperatures are around average, which is looking, very good indeed. And you can even see in the longer term, a little bit more uncertainty, but not massive precipitation spikes. And it just looks, again, very fine and dry. And we can see, if we have a look at Glasgow, you see that's well reflected once again. You see there was a bit more of a rainfall spike over the next couple of days. We've got that heavy rain coming from that cold front, but temperature's going to be a couple of degrees above average. And generally, for about 4 or 5 days, we're going to see minimal rainfall under the centre of the high. So although there could be a few showers around, it still looks relatively pleasant for many areas. Beyond that, though, low pressure could be moving back in, as we saw by that ECMWF run. So it's still quite uncertain for the last maybe day or two of a couple days of August, including the bank holiday weekend and the first week of September. But still, temperatures at 850 HPA are looking above average. So if we now go through the UKMS office, we'll just look at precipitation and then look at temperatures as well. So we're on through again, a few showers around today, but it should be fading. And then we see the heavier rain move into Ireland, potentially, as that cold front moves in, heading up into Scotland, parts of Wales, southwestern areas, seeing some rain, northern England, and by Saturday afternoon to evening, spread across most of England, Wales, and Scotland, with a few showers and thunderstorms heading into Ireland, Northern Ireland. That rain generally does clear sort of overnight into Sunday, maybe lingering in East Anglia as a small, potentially some thunderstorms developing and a bit heavier rain there. It looks like that's the centre of the low, maybe a small circulation developing there. We'll have to keep an eye on that. But generally things are dying down. A few showers and thunderstorms around potentially through Sunday afternoon and potentially into a little bit into Monday as well. But generally fading away, and by Tuesday all areas are looking very, very dry. If we have a look at the 1.5 meter temperatures, we can see by Friday afternoon, temperatures are going to get around, again, low 20s, potentially 21, 22 degrees, maybe a tad warmer in a few spots, but generally pretty pleasant. By Saturday, you can see in the east maybe 21, 22, 23 degrees, but there is some cool air coming in from the west. As we head through Sunday, again, around 20 degrees or so, all decent, but again, a few showers around. And by Monday, things are looking up a little bit. Temperatures potentially get to 22, 23, 24 degrees in the south, maybe 22 degrees over Ireland, maybe 20, 21 degrees in parts of Wales and Scotland, looking pretty decent. So now we finally have a look at the live radar, the few showers and thunderstorms developing in a few areas at the moment. We do refresh it briefly. You can see at the moment, we again have a few showers building in across parts of the Midlands, central southern England, potentially a few heavier cells, maybe some isolated thunder within that. But generally, pretty isolated. Parts of maybe Lancashire, into Birmingham area, potentially parts of Leicestershire, towards sort of Stamford, Grantham, Lincoln, sort of heading up towards Lincoln potentially, with a few showers coming offshore now, and then again a few showers down into sort of Swindon, Oxford, potentially down to Salisbury, Bath, maybe heading into London area over the next few hours, but I suspect they should be diminishing as we head through the evening. But you can see the start of the weather fronts further west that are going to be moving in, giving some more widespread rain as that low pressure system does move through. So anyway, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again for another video soon.